What's happening, my good people? So, today I'm going to be kind of going through the whole, lady who was found dead in her cubicle story. Short feed, it's not much to kind of look into. I mean, it's very simple. The lady clocked in, 4 days later, found dead in her office cubicle. Um, this type of, rhetoric, it seems like it's not the usual, but honestly, like, I've definitely seen office environments that's very, very toxic to this extent that it's no surprise, honestly. So let's get into the video before we kind of dive more into it.
What's in the mix this morning? A woman was found dead at her desk at work after 4 days.
Anything else you wanted to add to that?
I don't think there's any more else to be added. I mean, it's pretty clear, simple, but let's see.
Well, it's you going ahead.
Other employees are wondering, as are we, why it took so long to find a 60-year-old woman. She clocked in at 7 a.m. one morning and, as we said, was not found until 4 days later.
I could tell you why it took so long. It took a long time because these offices, they don't care. They don't care. All this want to push back into the office and lacking innovation, creativity, or the whatever excuse they try to give you to push people back into the offices, they don't care. Look, they want you in the offices because they want to have you there because they already paid for the building. Trust me, they don't care about no face-to-face interaction. That's the last thing they care about. Better yet, bosses are barely there anyways. Let's continue.
What?
Police in Tempe, Arizona say her body was found in her cubicle. Are there no other cubicles around? There is no indication of foul play. Wells Fargo Bank says the woman worked in an area away from other employees.
None of.
Yeah, I have yet to see any area in any bank that's far away from all other employees. Unless you're like the boss, where you have your own office and your door can be closed half the time, but you're probably not there half the time. So, with that being said, yes, no, this type of behavior in like organizations is very common. Definitely very common in corporate America, where everybody thinks you're supposed to just build your way up, that you're gonna one day become manager off your hard work and ethics. I tell you, it don't work that way, unfortunately. Majority of times about who you know, not what you know. I can assure you, when these CEOs pick the managers, branch managers, they probably ain't never seen your face before, or probably don't care enough to remember your face to talk about promoting you to a position that's high up in the company, especially not no executive level. Yeah, you just gotta be very likable. If you're a certain gender, you might be able to kind of, I'm not gonna say the word, but you know how to get on to the top. Some favor for favors. Yeah, I've seen that. Definitely seen that to where the whole office is knowing is going on. Yes, office politics are very real. Being locked in certain positions where you're being exploited to where you're gonna do the work without being paid for the position. Yeah, I've seen that plenty of times too. Actually, I'm gonna keep it a buck. I try not to even work like in the office no more. I work mostly contracts now because of me trying to work more remote. And most companies these days prefer to hire you contract first and then do the whole full time. You're working remote so they don't have you locked in as a full-time employee without knowing, what you're about first. It's understandable. But yeah, no, I try to avoid working in the office. I have not had an in-office job for like the last 3 years and refuse to go back to an in-office job. Now, I'm lucky to at least have passive income and, rentals and stuff like that and real estate, so I don't have to do that. I mean, that's like my primary source of income that I rely on and structure my life off of. Now, when I do get jobs, as in contracts, yeah, I aim for the high contracts to where I'm out here living like a king when I do get them because I'm already taking care of off my regular income. And then that extra money from working just goes to me either building more investments or trying to, stack up. So when the market kind of, shake a little bit, I got some money to throw up in there to see what I can make happen. But other than that, I don't adjust my lifestyle off of the new income. I don't never suggest anybody do that. That's how you fall into the trap. With that being said, look, I ain't got no credit card debt. I ain't got no car payments. Look, man, mortgage, and that's it. Mortgage and the regular bills. That's it. But yeah, I've seen the toxic behavior in these companies too much. I'm not gonna say that remote work is the end all be all because hey, it's been plenty of times where I done work remote jobs or positions too. One in particular where everything was just kind of this job was so unorganized that I would have thought that personally it had to be a fake position and like a scam if I wasn't really getting paid from it with how unorganized the job was and how they bait and switched completely. Start off saying the job was flexible, so there was no certain hour you had to work. You just get your 40 hours and then, you call it a day, call it a week, as long as you're doing your job and stuff. Um, they're supposed to have most of the resources, so you wouldn't have to really do too much research and stuff like that. I wouldn't have to be an expert. Man, when I started that job, all those resources that was there was not there. So I was still having to be the expert at a lot of this stuff, which was fine for me because, I've worked this job field for like over 10 years, pretty much. Or at least, a lot of the jobs that's kind of close to where they all transferable skills. It's all the same sets. So I wasn't too really beat on the expertise part, even though I would have charged a lot more. But the contract's already locked in at like 60K. So I was like, okay, well, it is what it is. For me, it's just like I say, it's just investment money. Even though time is money, I usually charge more. And I was supposed to have an easier job. So that's why I accepted that low pay. But with that being said, I also went tripping because, I had another job at the time too. So, I had my passive income plus working two positions. The other remote job required me almost to do nothing because I had it so set up and things so in line and organized to where all I had to do was just watch timetables. Other than that, I already had everything kind of planned out, who I need to contact, when I need to contact them, by which date, what could possibly be going on to make sure that I have everything, done pretty much before ahead of time. There's like no disruptions to deadlines pretty much. I had that position pretty much like locked. And then I had this one where I started in after that one, like a year after that one, close to the end of that one, because it was like a temporary position, term based, contract for a couple months. Unfortunately, sales team couldn't get another contract, pretty much because we just did that good of a job, so they ain't need us no more. So did a good enough job, taught their administrators how to pretty much go about doing it, to where we was able to teach them and have it so in control that they was able to kind of continue it on, so that was kind of good there, and good and bad, but it is what it is. Second job started up, like I said, should have been something easier, but still making, decent money as well. So, okay, keep the good free chats flowing, about to go around here, buy me a boat or something. Needless to say, yeah, I didn't stay at that job too long. The other job, pretty much contract ended. I'm thinking, okay, well now it's just this job, so it should be much easier. That job kind of ramped up, which it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be a ramp up, pretty much. You start off at 40 hours, and then as you get more clients, you can ramp up and do more hours and stuff. But then the job, like I said, they double back. You couldn't do more hours than your 40 hours, even though you started getting like almost upwards of 15 to 20 clients, and they kept trying to add on even more. The expectations of what they wanted to be done was just unrealistic. And they knew fully well it couldn't be done in 40 hours. But they didn't care. So they wanted you to claim your 40 hours, so work more than that. And then they started being like very picky when it comes to the times you're supposed to be there. Where, like I said, there was no guaranteed time you're supposed to be there. It's not a work schedule. You just work the hours that you're allotted to do. They're allotted towards the clients. And then, like I said, it is what it is. You got clients around the world, different time zones. So, with this job, it also came a lot of meetings too. But pretty much, like I said, a little bit of time go by, maybe like 2 or 3 months go by at the job. And the first month, I already kind of seen that it wasn't going to be the job that I was going to stay a long time. But I was like, I ain't care. It is what it is. I'm just getting the money for now. I'm gonna look past it. 2 to 3 months in, I get like a mini complaint from HR Pretty much just saying pretty much that it's like a warning, pretty much that the supervisor complained that I didn't really communicate much in the team meetings. Complained that I pretty much like the hours I was working were all around the place. It didn't seem realistic, or it didn't seem like they just didn't like it. Pretty much, they had to find any reason to complain. So when I'm reading back, to HR, like, okay, well, for one, like, I'm just trying to find out where this came from, because the hours be flexible. There's no schedule. The hours that are spent, they're spent either with clients or having to do work for the clients, having to do work outside of my work, pretty much the expertise and stuff. And I have to research this stuff to answer their questions. So if anything, like, I took offense that, they're complaining when I'm giving more, working more hours too. That I had to explain to them, we're working more hours and not allowing us to claim them, but they know we're having to work them. So then it's like, okay, well, now HR is trying to play the medium where it's like, okay, well, well, maybe we could just try doing this or try doing that, and I'll talk to them, this and that. When I start seeing the excuses being made, or they're trying to undermine, look, that next hour, I went ahead and wrote up my resignation, sent it in. They called me quickly. Oh, there ain't anything we can do to work it out. We don't want to see you go. There's nothing you can do. I left it at that. Left the company. Let it be. I refuse to work another position where I feel like my talents and my time is being undermined. Do not trade your dignity for these companies, because they will let you go at any time. They'll complain about anything if you're not willing to give them more than what they're giving you. With that being said, look, I get it. Jobs are scarce and stuff like that. But I'm not letting myself, like, get gotten over on to the extent where I know I'm giving quality work. I worked this field for 10 plus years, not all at the same place. I went to multiple different organizations and got acknowledgments, rewards, and all kind of stuff. So to where I started giving a starter company kind of talents for free at a discounted rate, first because they lied, but at a discounted rate of what I'm normally getting paid. Didn't come in with an ego, came in trying to learn the systems, took really like no time at all to learn them and doing everything exactly how they ask. And then because they're changing stuff daily on a regular, but I don't fit your company rhetoric, pretty much the gotta jump in and talk all day. I've actually come in and actually work. I didn't fit the need to just come in and, be the class clown and send memes and stuff. You get to be a target. Yeah, no, I'll let that go. And that just like was me working remotely. Now, me working in the office, I have an experience where it was so much worse. But that'll be for another video. Cause that's a long story. That's when I worked for the state. Anybody who's ever worked a state job or city job, something like that before, they probably know that it's one of the, I ain't gonna speak for all, but it could be one of the most toxic places you could ever work. It's a state or city job. I don't recommend it to anybody. Not, it ain't for the weak. I'm just gonna say that and leave it at that. Other than that, look, hey, if y'all have any experiences similar or any bad, jobs that you kind of want to put out there, look, hey, let me know in the comment section. I'll try to, engage with a couple of comments. See if we can share some more stories and stuff like that. I could probably put some of your stories out there. Do like how some people do the whole rhetoric post. Make a video off of that for you. But other than that, look, hey, if you like this, hey, like, comment, subscribe. We're trying to grow. So let's do this thing together, y'all. Be easy. Peace.